Okay, so everybody back to the Janton, Majramika. So firstly, I want to say, everybody in this world can understand some degree. Extremes no good, need a middle path, which means another language, we can say, unbalanced, anything unbalanced, no good. In any case, in any situation, in any activity, anything, you need balance. So balance means harmonious. Unbalance is disharmonious. Extremes means condition of unbalance and disharmony. So just remember that for anything, even mundane things, for mundane survival, for mundane competition, for mundane try to achieve goals, anything. And then especially when come to the spiritual path, even more important. That's why everybody, no matter who you are, every school, every tennis school, they believe themselves is a Madhyamika, not extremist. Let's say extremist Christian people, do they believe themselves extremist? The answer is no. Extremist Muslims, do they believe themselves extremist? The answer is no. Nobody believes is extremes better. So everybody try to a middle path. But when people judge each other, schools judge each other, then they see the other one is not extremist. Other one is extremist. We are not that kind of. That is the usual. You have to remember that. So, but that means who is true? Only yourself. Who can? What does make you extreme? The other. If I try to explain you such and such things extreme, such things is balance, middle path, you have to decide, not just listen to me. If you have no capacity to decide, and then you have no choice. Only two choices. You have a believe me or you don't believe. You follow or don't follow. That's two only choices you have. But also still, this two is your choice. So just remember that. So according to the history and the philosophy, everything, when I study, when I practice, and with my experience, with my understanding, then I speak only according to that. So let's say Dolpopa Shirap Johnson, incredible Lama, and Alon Chinba, incredible one, and Tsongkhapa, incredible one. But in these three, if there is some difference, which one makes sense to me, I follow that. And I try to explain to the other people. So that's it. So I believe this is the middle path. This is the highest path, which means free from extremes. So according to Madhyamika, they judged Buddhist schools, not non-Buddhist, the Buddhist schools, Vibhashika is extreme, limitation, and Svatantika is have limitation and have extreme, yes, and then Chittamata has extreme view and limitation. Madhyamika is the real meter. That's their belief. But inside Madhyamika, Janton Madhyamika was look at, they say Rantomba is not free, not totally free from extremes. They believe that. That's what we're talking about. So now we have to know why. How come? What is the indications we using? What is the pointers we using? They are not free from extremes. Are they extreme into the nihilism or eternalism? So they more look like nihilism. Of course, they don't agree with that. They don't like to be extreme. They don't like full nihilism. They don't want it. They don't agree. But let's say we all are like judges, okay? If we are judges, then we look at points, how they are become nihilism. So to understand this, you have to understand what is Ranton means, what is Janton means. What is their common ground? Ranton and Janton, they both common ground. We have to know that common ground. So their common ground is they both believe should not fall extremes. Externalism and nihilism. That's their common ground. No agu. They both believe enlightenment and samsara. They both believe bodhicitta. They both believe the bodhicitta. If you don't have bodhicitta, then you are still, you can free from samsara, but not free from achievement, which means you are not, you cannot become omniscient Buddha. They both believe. They both believe everything you can fit into truth. That's most important. They believe both true truth. Okay? What means the true truth? They both believe temporarily, only relatively true, but not really real. That is relative truth. Absolutely true is the ultimate truth. They believe that equally. That's common ground. So based on that, then why Jamphel see as they are extreme? They're not free from nihilism. Rinpoche have many Rinpoches. You know. So when you look at what Rinpoche's sentence, then they sound like Jamphel. Most of them, they sound like Jamphel. But as long as they believe they are Rinpoche, which means Ran means self, Tong means empty. That means there is no argument on the relative truth. Only argument when they're talking about ultimate truth. So when they're talking about ultimate truth, then they have problem. Why the relative have no problem? Because relative, they both, Jamphel, both believe is not real. It's not real, but still is relatively real. So it's important to follow virtues and abandon non-virtues. Or because it's an illusion, doesn't matter, virtues, non-virtues. They don't believe that. So that's why they don't really have argument there. I mean, you can make literal arguments those days, but we don't talk about that later. But in general, should not have any argument there. Okay, that means if you ask Rinpoche and Jamphel both, all relative phenomena is illusion, they have to say yes. Are they emptiness? They have to say yes. What do you mean emptiness means? Or empty of the truth. Okay, empty of the truth itself, they have to say yes. Both. So that means if you one thing say, is empty of person itself, they say yes. Or empty of cup, table, glasses, they have to say yes. Glass empty itself. Cup empty itself. Table empty itself. Person empty itself. Why? Because they both say you can't find. Only appears if you not analyze. But if you analyze, you can't find. They both answer same. Then only say, okay, then ultimate truth is empty self. Then Rinpoche say yes. Why? Why they have to say yes? Because they say in the Rinpoche means empty the self, everything. everything is empty self, then you cannot ultimate truth, you cannot check off. So that's why they have to say yes. Then Jantomba said, no. Ultimate truth is not empty the self. Okay, then Jantomba asked, okay, that means ultimate truth is not empty? The Jantomba answered, yes, empty, but not empty the self. Okay, then if it's not empty the self, then how can it be empty? Emptiness. They say, empty of other. Just like you are empty of me, I'm empty of you, cup is empty of glasses, glass empty of cup, table is empty of pillar, pillar is empty of table, just like that. So the ultimate truth is empty of samsara, empty of relative truth, everything. Oh, how come? How come? Then Ramthoba think, how come there is something not even can't amplify? So the Jantomba's answer, if you can amplify everything, then is you go extreme, nihilism. Then you go into nihilism. And Ramthoba think, oh no, it have to be amplify everything. Because such and such sutra said, da 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 da. Okay, then what about the third Dharma well, Tantra, everything said is not empty the self. It is ultimate Kalachakra, ultimate Chakrasambhara. The ultimate truth is itself Kalachakra, Chakrasambhara, Herajra, you know, Bhusamaya, everything, Buddha, everything. How come? Also, you have to remember when we say empty the self means Rantong means its meaning is essenceless. You can't find essence. It's not there, nothing. So if the ultimate truth is essenceless, then why are you seeking for? There is nothing to seek. There's nothing to gain. There's nothing to achieve. There is nothing to accomplish. Then Ramthoba says, yes, there is nothing. That all Sushina Sutra said there's nothing to do. So, okay, hello, you have to say this. Yes, but do you understand the meaning? There is no such thing, nothing means all relative truth. If you fell ultimate truth also in there, then you have no base, no base. No base of samsara, no base of nirvana, no base of enlightenment, nothing. That means nihilism. You can argue like that way. Is it real? For instance, if you say, oh, in this home, no people. You knowledge only the people, not the home, right? When we say samsara is illusion, we knowledge in samsara, not the Buddha nature, right? we say, or samsara, relative truth, or impermanent and suffering nature, we knowledge in them, but not the base Buddha nature. If you Buddha nature is believed same as the relative truth, and then is same as you believe or Buddha nature is suffering nature, impermanent, same thing. Because all relative truth is suffering nature, impermanent, because baseless, that's why. Is illusion, that's why. Something illusion, you grab not illusion, then that is the root of the suffering. If the Buddha nature and the nirvana, everything also becomes like that, then is ridiculous. So you have to understand this way. Okay, that's Jean Tomba's judgment of True Grand Tomba. That means also for Jean Tomba, even you believe Buddha nature, your Buddha nature again impermanent, suffering, and something you need develop. So Jean Tomba saying Buddha nature is never like that, never. Is permanent, eternal, forever, and never changing. The only we cannot experience because we have illusion. So that is in the sutra, Buddha himself saying with non-examples. Non-examples. So he didn't say a seed to grow. It's not like that. It is perfect already. You just need to unveil. Okay. So the Buddha himself saying in the text, Jukpi sanguine. Jukpi sanguine means the base always there as like a base, the Buddha, which means Buddha nature. Santang huifshet gyantang dans. It is major marks, minor marks, ornaments, everything. Topje manjik vigilasos. 10 powers, 4 fearlessness, all the qualities already there. Then he said, Vumnang example, like analogy. Vumnang marmi gurbuchter. So if there is a lamp inside a vase, you don't see it from outside, but it's there already. That's one knowledge. The other knowledge is poor man's backyard, underneath you have gold. Even you don't know, that's why you are poor, but gold is there. So that means even if we are in the samsara, in illusion, but our Buddha nature always there perfectly within ourselves. Okay, so inside the lotus, if you have a Buddha image, even you don't see it, but it's there. The Buddha image you have outside, inside, same. Obscure or not obscure, but the reality same. Okay, so or either lotus flower, either cloth, and I think Pamirvamna means is the princess inside the womb, mother's womb. You see or not see, you don't know is you don't know it is, I mean, prince means I'm talking about become incredible in the future. Usually we say Kolugiri, so is a universal king. But in the stomach, you don't know. But it is already, So like that. Not only that, but also Buddha said, Tujin Korlo, he said, Buddha nature is Kalachakra, Buddha nature is Heruka. It is Pramadyo Buddha. It is suchness. It is expansiveness. It is the ultimate. It is the Buddha nature. It is essence of everything. Only obscuration is the concept. The concept is a big darkness. Who made the samsara? Okay, concept made samsara. Therefore, to meditate non-conceptual meditation, there is no such thing as samsara when you are free from conception. If you are free from that concept, you are always a nirvana. You are always in nirvana. You never separated in nirvana, but you didn't see it because the conception. So, what is the obscuration of the nirvana? Is afflictions. So afflictions means all our conception and our emotion. Afflictions means is they are all contaminated. Okay, you can't free from that. But if you want to free from not just samsara, you want to free from only nirvana, and then the only nirvana means only nirvana and nirvana different, okay? Nirvana means ultimate nirvana, but only nirvana means only attend, you can attend, not fully understand Buddha nature, but understand selflessness. You have the realization of selflessness. You don't have bodhicitta, but you have other qualities. Then you can become an arahat, which means free from samsara, but not omniscient. You don't have manifestations. You cannot manifest, only yourself in peace. If you want free, even free from that, then you need hidden form. So you need free from the extreme, you have to free from the obscurations of cognitive obscuration. Cognitive, if you're free from this cognitive, then is free everything. Then you have thousand. So then you have incredible bodhisattva warrior nature, and you have incredible meditative realization. So then you are able to experience the fullness of your Buddha nature. So when you experience, then it's always and never changing. What is the ultimate truth? Same as Buddha nature, same Buddha nature. Is that one is object, something we know? Is not. There is no subject and object. That term is yeshi. Yeshi means a primordial awareness, primordial wisdom. Observa means luminosity. Luminosity means there is no possible ignorance. Absence of ignorance. Observa. So you see in yourself. You know, usually we say, oh, I have to see somebody, but not myself. But this one, you see yourself. So then you know you are free from the essenceless of the samsara. You know this samsara is never existed, only as temporarily your illusion. So anybody can have a little understand this or even a little believe. Is incredible opportunity, incredible fortune. Okay? So therefore, it is a nectar for everybody. So whether you go with boat, a ship, captain, whatever, those like path, So you have to think of this. Can I reach the ultimate Buddha nature through my illusion? The answer is yes, because all path is illusion. Only relatively better and better and better and better. Just same as your captain, your boat, everything helps you to go other side the sea, other side the river. But when you reach the other side, you don't need them. It doesn't matter at that time whether this captain is evil or very bad. Even the boat is broken, doesn't matter. As long as you got it on the path. You not rely anymore. Same thing. So that time you realize, oh, I didn't need to even meditate. I didn't need to do anything. But I did anyway. So you had dream, very difficult to cross the river, but you find a captain and a ship or boat, and you did it. Then you wake up, oh, it's dream. It wasn't need that much effort to find, but okay, I did anyway. Same thing. That time doesn't matter, but it matters in the dream. So it matters same thing when you are in the samsara. So that time you say Margum Sanghi, oh, this Buddha is whether you meditate or not, whatever it is there, always. No other places, you never found Buddha elsewhere. Only you find within yourself. So in this case, sometimes the sutras say, and tantras sometimes say, your mind itself is Buddha. Some texts say, oh, no, not the mind. Something goes beyond mind. Doesn't matter. What say? The only matter is how you understand. Doesn't matter what is the name. The only matters you understand what you mean. So whether you call same Buddha, the mind is Buddha, or you can say soul is Buddha, or mind is Buddha, spirit is Buddha, whatever you call. Not huge matters. As long as you understand, you believe is within yourself and not elsewhere. That's enough. Sim the Zohi Sangi is Sangijan the Tamba, Jitin by Antaka, Chimbosla, you Kirwa, then the Karwarton of the number and door Mangeros. Any other gods or anything you cannot find within. You cannot find, I mean, you rely on with God or request God, you can't find Buddha nation. You have to find within yourself by yourself. Kung tastangan maapkakana, semchen mo lamngan jigni nyewer ongartas. So, Dolpopa said, I have to argue the wrong views. Why? If you don't argue the wrong views, if you not defeat them, and many people follow them, if it's a follow, and then there is problem. So that's why he is out of compassion to tell other people's view is wrong, how wrong. Shimbo sala yo kirwa ten karwa ton ta ngen ba do jama ko sen juni nyor ortos semchen mao lam ngan ta juni nyor ortar ulogna payon changes. So you taken so many such and bends of the wrong path. So that's why it's so important to prevent that. Especially in this degenerate time, the contamination of the wrong views, so we degenerate times, the negativities is so strong. So many emanations of the evils. So then, rare lamas and rare yitams, rare mahasiddhas, they pretend them, and then people take in the wrong way. Lama, teacher, pretend in that form and then taken the wrong way. What they do, they say, oh, this is a short path. This is the short path, and then give you wrong Dharma. And sometimes they do what they do is, oh, I know this, and I have dreamed this, and I have this no free form but sound, have this prediction, blah, 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 blah. So in that way, people lead the wrong way. Why? Because people is silly. Silly means people not realistic. They don't understand realistically, but they have unrealistic expectations. Something easy, simple way, everything perfect. So they tell like that because they are not teaching you what you need to hear. They are teaching you what you want to hear. Okay? Very different. In the future, if you want to judge a teacher, you have to This teacher talk us what we like, or this teacher talk what we need to hear. Okay, judge that way. No more. Okay. Hanchit chuluk ferkirna chuluk shorpi semchenanam korvi jamsur tarmachit. So that kind of contaminated Dharma teach you and you follow, and then these followers never free from samsara, never go beyond the ocean of samsara. So Dolpopa said, therefore, all his criticisms out of compassion. Okay? So, however, as long as the gardens afford this path, when he garden for the God of compassion, those who have no capacity or intelligent to which one makes sense, only just follow what others say, that kind of people, lower intelligent people, he said, perhaps don't like what I say. You know, the lakat, the lamaku could be disrespect what I say. Even they disrespect my teaching, I don't have any, how to say, anger or anything, hatred or anything for them. Only reason he want to rescue from the wrong path. Only that reason said, don't care what they say to you and criticize, don't care. He want to just rescue, and he also, Dolpopa said, he not making up anything. He said, this is exact as the Buddha's teachings. He believed 100%, he has 100% confidence is exactly Buddha's teachings. Of course he has confidence because even the Buddha and many thousand years ago already predicted him, his name and everything. So that's why if you read, if you have any intelligence, then you read Dolpopa's, then you know how much confidence he has. He said he do the witness of with the Buddha teaching. And also the incredible followers of the Buddha. So therefore, he teach this for benefit of all sentient beings. Karte longrik nam taktans. If anybody has real points, real quotations of Buddhas can contradict him, he agree, no problem. He very happy. If you can challenge him, he's more than happy. Why? Because he know, oh, you are incredible, intelligent. So does he want, or for sentient beings? But we thought like these people only just have a bias and ignorance, say something not profound Dharma, they say this is profound, or this is very shortcut. That kind of driven by samsaric intentions. That kind of many people are very clever to do things and samsara, but they don't understand real essence of the Dharma. He said, he gave example. For instance, what do you call this? The bird only night time you can see. Owls, owls. Owls, they cannot see and during the day. Similarly, some scholars, some lamas, they are very clever, and we're talking about the samsara and even this relative truth of Dharma, they're very clever, but they don't understand when it comes to the ultimate truth. The definitive teachings, they don't understand. Provisional teachers, they are very clear. They're very clever for provisional teachings, but then definitive teaching, they don't understand. Therefore, if the thief, sometimes the thief mistake to steal food, they instead their food to some herbs, or the herbs means herb, isn't it? The outside of the barley and the rice, the skin. Some people, some stupid thief take that. So therefore, he said, even the Brahman, the gold Brahma, okay, gold Brahma, he said, even has 1,000 eyes, but you don't see the ultimate truth. But he said, the Aryan Dewa have only one eyes, but he see the ultimate truth. Not with eyes, okay? That's why. The ultimate truth, you don't need eyes. Even 1,000 eyes, it doesn't help. So that means what he's saying is that some people are very intelligent in samsara, even Dharma, they're very clever in talking about the relative Dharma. But then ultimate Dharma, then they have a problem, like Ramkhompa. He's saying, basically he's saying to the Ramkhompas, not only Ramkhompas, but many types of mistake people. So they don't see the Buddha nature with 1,000 eyes. One eye is you see everything or the nature of the Dharma. All sentient beings have possessed the Buddha nature. So even you really fully not understand, but even you just can believe it that, if you can believe, so this is you respect Buddha. That means you are closer to the Buddha, even you just believe. Then he just finishing. So I think the Chinese emperors usually they have the title of the Manjushri. You know, people, people believe they are emanation of Manjushris. I'm not saying they are Manjushris, okay? But people believe that. So based on belief, Dolpopa tried to say polite to respect the emperor. He said, Manjushri kin, great kin. So if you can, you make sure the Dzokden Dharma, this Dzokden Dharma, what he talking about is Dzokden Dharma. Completion, truth Dharma, you flourish everywhere. Sumdan marchid stanganikans. Any other views is not 100% wrong, but is only quarters or 2 quarters, 3 quarters maximum they right. So those ones, you make them dissolve. So he said, or what I'm written in the text, I'm talking about in general path. So there's a common path. And then he said, uncommon path, if we have a chance, merit, if you're interested, we hope can discuss at the time. So I hope you meet this Dharma as the same as meet myself, and you going to be happy and you take as a value. And then you, your emperor, and then your kingdom, everything goes very well with this Dharma and everything. And then, yes, may your this kingdom and everything same as go continue as like a river. So that's he said. So finish. So if you have any questions, we can discuss.
If you have any questions, you can add them to the Q&A area on Zoom or the chat. If you've moved over to the group side, you can add them on Facebook, and you can put them in your own language. Rinpoche, the first question is, do we still have to have specific karmic conditions to see Buddha nature or achieve Buddha nature?
Everybody have Buddha nature, so your karmic conditions up to you. Depend on how much you make prioritize. So, there's no one answer for everybody. So the most important, we all have equally have a Buddha nature, which means we have Buddha nature means we just use in the language for now. Because when we see we only can perceive, sense ourselves is like samsaric person. You know, so then we say we have Buddha nature. We can't say I am Buddha. But the reality is we are Buddha. And this we sense of we as needs is nothing. This is essenceless illusion. But we are Buddha. But if we just drunk in on this illusion, then we only can say we have Buddha nature. So what are the differences? Let's say two people are beggar today. But you are on the journey, both of you are beggar equally, but one has incredible wealth at home. One have zero. But right now, you are same suffering in the poverty, hungry, thirsty, whatever. Maybe different places, not together. So you see what are the differences? Who has the incredible wealth at home? Probably you have many choices. You can think of, oh, what I can do, what I can do, what I can do. But who has zero wealth can't do much. You only can do temporarily. I'm not going to hungry, die. But you don't have the confidence. You don't have many, you can't think many solutions. So like that. So we are not the zero wealth. We have everything, everybody. So then is your choice. You want to go Buddhahood very slowly or want to go fast? You don't mind even suffering in samsara longer, or you want for short? You want to go extremely slow, or you want to go medium? The only what you do is your prioritize the life, your priority, you know, prioritize. Mostly you want to do things altruistic way, you know. Your goal is to liberate everybody, to realize this. And everything you do and dedicate on that, that's the best way. But if you care something more, ego, competition, self-indulgence, these things, if you prioritize, nobody going to stop you. It's up to you, it's your life. But only make the difference slow, very slow down the actualized Buddha nature. That's all.
Okay, Rinpoche, the next question is, because of the non-dual of self and other, it seems that empty of self and empty of other is the same. What do you say?
Okay, empty itself and empty other cannot be same. They're very easy, I tell you, because everybody think very complicated way. That's why it's keep simple then very, very easy. I suggest you guys keep very simple. Don't think too much, Keep very simple. Say, is cow is sheep, sheep is cow, dog is cat, cat is dog. Is dog is empty of cat? Yes, definitely. If not, then a dog have to be cat and dog both. But it's not. Dog is a dog, it's not cat. That empty of other. Okay? So empty itself means, oh, my dog is died. I have no more dog. Not all dog is died, okay? But your dog is empty now. Gone. Non-exist. I mean, non-exist in your home. I mean, and that form of dog, that place, you're not anymore. So that is empty itself. When your dog died, you don't say, oh, my cat also died. If your cat is still alive. But the cat is empty of dog anyway. Whether dog die or not die, the cat is never be the dog. But dog is himself until he die. I mean, I'm not talking about the philosophical way I'm talking about. I'm talking about a normal people, normal concept. You have to relate it with the normal concept and then you have to speak. Why? Because we speak in normal human language. So that's why. Another way, let's say, you have incredible land, incredible nice land, nice weather, and you have incredible house there. But temporarily you are in jail and you are suffer. You have so much wealth, everything in the home, lovely family, everything, but you are in jail. So you wish you free from jail? Yes, you free. You wish you free. And then Rantomba, Jantomba both saying, yes, you will be free. Because your sentence is not life sentence, only 10 years. Okay? But your home, you want free from home. You say, no, I love my home. I love my family. I want to love my house. I want to stay there. Jantomba saying, okay, you will free from jail and then you go home. The home is not like a jail. Perfect. They're saying that. Rantomba saying, no. Rantomba saying, one way they say like that way, kind of, but the other way say, oh, they both is empty. They both you have to free. You cannot stay with jail and you cannot stay with home same. It's not true. Can't be same. Ranton, Janton cannot be same. Empty of itself and empty other, no, same, no. Even you ask a children, if you just empty or distance maybe make them confused, but if you say children cup, you say cup, is this cup is socks? They say no. Never socks inside cup. They say no. Unless you put it in, they say like this maybe. Maybe, or maybe we don't use a cup. Something you cannot in. Let's say, what do we use? Piece of rock. Piece of rock, you say, is this socks? Your children say, no, no. Is ever socks can be in this? They say, no. That is, rock is empty of socks. Okay? Buddha nature is always Buddha nature. But then you say, if you say children, the reflection of the, let's say cup this time, or your hand, you reflect in your hand and your mirror and then ask children, is that my hand? They say, no, it's not. They know it's not your hand. So you say, my hand is never in the TV. Then they say, no, never, no real hand, only on the mirror. They say, no, only reflection, no real. Even children know that. So that's samsara. Samsara is that the reflection of your hand. Yourself, Buddha nature is your real hand. Then if you ask a children, is this real my hand? They say yes. Are you 100% sure? They say yes. Yeah, children understand this logic, but we make complicated and not let us understand it. No, you got it?
We'll see, Rinpoche, if there's a few more questions. We'll see. Rinpoche, what do you think Dolpopa would advise people or practitioners to do today?
What he was?
What would he suggest if Dolpopa was here today? What do you think he would be advising practitioners to do?
Oh, there's so many things to do. Depend who you are, where you at, and probably he do the not say for one thing for everybody. But when you talking view Buddha nature, he say the same thing. He never changes. Impossible. Maybe he has a different way of saying, but it's the same meaning. And he probably make you have confidence within yourself, Buddha nature, rather than threaten and you go to hell if you don't do this. Probably he do that way. He don't do a threat to you and give you confidence. And others, they always mix samsara and the nirvana together, and he always makes separate. He make very clear samsara cannot be nirvana. The others sometimes say, oh, sounds like, oh, samsara is okay, it's nirvana. Sometimes it sounds nirvana, sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes samsara is samsara is terrible, and they're saying. Sometimes samsara is nirvana. That kind of confusion can say other people. And the other people say, no more mind, no more concept is sometimes they say, oh, it's okay. And he don't. He said, no. If you are just only concept, then is only samsara. If you are free from concept, then is nirvana. He said very clear. But he accepts our limitations. As long as we have a separation, doesn't matter how slow we are, he accepts our slowness and limitations. That's I believe. Because he has immeasurable compassion and love for sentient beings. That he exists. That's the reason he exists. So Dolpopa is everywhere now. We don't know which one is. It's not Dolpopa or 14th century, he come then gone. He's everywhere. Maybe somebody try to, helping you in small ways. In small ways, because you cannot accept any big ways. You don't understand, so then helping you in small ways, maybe. Okay?
Rinpoche, if we can only understand a line or two from Dolpopa, is this enough, or is only super intelligent people able to see their nature?
Everybody has hope. If people have no incredible intelligence, then people have heart, sincere heart, and strong belief and devotion. That's sometimes more powerful than intelligent. Because intelligent sometimes take you wrong way, sometimes take you right way. It's not always take you right way. But your sincere and sincerity always take you right way. So if you have some intelligence, always try to use intelligent. Whenever you see there's some shortage of this intelligence, then try to use sincerity and appreciation. Be mindful of how precious we have human birth, and how precious we have somebody's assistance or opportunities. Be mindful of that, because normally humans are lack of this. Because ego always let you wrong path, taking you wrong path. Me. And you make huge effort, competition with others. You waste your all energy, life, everything for there. Instead, you appreciate what you have, what is, the situation. Okay.
So Rinpoche, is this an illusionary me that's thinking I cannot be Buddha? If I'm having the thought that I cannot be Buddha, is that just my illusionary self thinking this thought?
I am not Buddha. What do you mean?
So if someone thinks I am not Buddha, they're asking if it's just their illusionary self thinking that they can't be Buddha.
Yes. You are Buddha. Always you are Buddha. You are always Buddha. Your illusionary self thinking cannot be Buddha. I will not be Buddha. That's illusionary, yes, illusory self telling that.
Okay. Rinpoche, how does Buddha see the suffering of sentient beings if Buddha nature is pure and free from samsara? How does the suffering arise in Buddha's mind?
Is similar if somebody have sickness and then you watch television together and this sick person think television is the real life, real happening, and then scared and fighting and or whatever they do, this is 100%, you are 100% sure this is not real happening. Let's say you're watching television and television incredible fire walking up, and then this next person, sick person, incredible fighting, and he thinks the fire coming in your home. 100% is not true. But when this is not true, then why he think like this? Because this sickness, then you feel incredible sorry for him. Similar like that. But Buddha is not like sorry or sad, doesn't have that emotions, but total understand why samsaric people experiencing this, even there's no exist. He totally understand that, and also he has how do you say, immeasurable caring to liberate them. Because just you had a little sympathetic this sick person, and you wish, you cares this person free from this sickness. Because he suffers everything he thinks is real, even not real things. Yeah.
So to follow up with this idea of craziness, you talked about a point where there was no concepts, or free from concepts. So if someone is focusing on being free from concepts, or there's no more concepts, will they just be crazy, or will they be very focused, or something else? If they're in a non-conceptual state, are they just nuts?
Never worry about you free from concept and then become crazy. Okay, so when you are free from concept, then is perfect. That means you are enlightened. So never worry about that. We only have to work hard, how free from concept, But this is gradually, it never happens once, impossible. So never worry about that. So that means people can, when they meditate, they can go free from concept. When they are post meditation, then is always with concept. How about that? That is, still is samsara, but you are on the way to enlightenment. So never worry, you're going to lose the conception. If you lose, then you celebrate because you are enlightened. Fully enlightened. Until fully enlightened, you never lose 100% conception. Okay?
So we'll do one last question. So Rinpoche, you mentioned there's a state called the only nirvana and nirvana. So they're wondering if the only nirvana is some sort of half state between samsara and nirvana,
No,
or is it possible to be half awake?
no half awake. Is you are free from, completely free from samsara forever, but you don't have any more emanations, just you're by yourself. And you don't have omniscient, which means you don't have omniscient mind, which means you don't know past, present, future, everything you don't know. You know more than normal people know, but you don't know everything. There's no activity, basically. That is arahathood. Arahathood and only nirvana same. But usually we don't call only nirvana. So only nirvana I made up. Maybe have helped to understand, but in Buddhist terms, we don't call only nirvana, we just call nirvana. And then it's difficult to understand because sometimes nirvana means Buddhahood, sometimes nirvana means the only arahathood. So if then I use only nirvana, then you can't mistake, with Buddhahood. So that's all. So why like this? Because you don't take as a part as a bodhicitta. So all your enlightenment is not for liberated sentient beings. That's why. That's why result also the same is yourself is free from samsara, but you cannot do activities for sentient beings because you never had that motivation. And so that's the reason. Because whatever the cause, then the result same. So that's why it's important to the bodhicitta. If you have a bodhicitta, then when you are enlightened, you are fully enlightened, and then you have innumerable activities from the innumerable emanations from yourself. Okay, so I want to say, if anybody you still not really understand the Jantung, then I let you very simple idea you hold in your mind, okay? So say, Jantung means the Buddha nature is always rare and always permanent and never change, and real and never essenceless. Think that. And everything else, the opposite, is illusion and essenceless. Not true. Think that way. That is the Jantung, simple way. Okay? Buddha nature and samsara. And then Ranartomba means both essenceless. Think that. Then is If Buddha nature also essenceless, then how can be Buddha nature is incredible, valuable if it's essenceless? But because the Dolpopas say, they say Buddha nature is incredible. The same time they say an essenceless. It's self-empty. Self-empty means essenceless, same meaning. So if you don't understand self-empty, other empty, don't worry. Just say Buddha, gentle means Buddha nature is not essenceless, is incredible, and samsara is essenceless, the opposite. Rartong means both essenceless equally. The same time they criticize samsara and praise the Buddha nature. But both is essenceless. So yeah, it's very simple. So think of that, keep in mind. If you don't understand many other things, just this for now, and then in the future you understand better. Okay?